Law. Alrighty, where is it? Where's the number? 100. It's only 100. What? That's about kind of what I thought. All right, from the start. Act 1 to 5. Those are like not that bad of modifiers. The haste number is very low in the first 5 acts, which is good. It's not going to be too bad. The reason they do pen and physical is extra chaos. Wait, there's no pen in the second part of the campaign. Interesting. But the reason they do pen and physical extra chaos is because if you do physicals extra like fire cold lightning, everything just like shocks, chills, and freezes you, and you don't have any ways to solve that in the early game. So it's kind of a really shit mod early on. Whereas pen and physics extra chaos just like are just damage modifiers that are dangerous, but they don't add like things that are unfun. So only 10 haste here is like this. The actual numbers here aren't too bad. It's mainly going to be the changes to the campaign boss fights that makes the early campaign dangerous. I'm playing Shadow into this. Like 30 dam, 20 pen, pretty brutal, but like doable, but it's going to be kind of slow. That's fine. Once you get here to this point, 30 dam, 30 haste, big area, some physical is chaos. When you're minus 30 chaos, this is danger for sure. One thing that's nice about Shadow though, like playing no armor makes the relative danger of physical extra chaos a lot less. Like for example, if you have no block, no evasion, but you have like 70 PDR because you have D-term and some endurance charges, you're mitigating 100 phys damage with just with armor, with DR. So when you get that physical extra chaos, it's like 2.5x more damage. Whereas for a Shadow that's not mitigating the phys damage at all, it's just avoiding it with Grace, it isn't as big of an increase. It's still going to be scary just because like Shadow's not very tanky in the campaign. Like Trickster is not very tanky until you get a good chess piece, which is like, level 80 or so. So like it's going to be rough, but should be doable. And one thing that's nice about Trickster's damage from Act 3 until like tier 10 maps is pretty solid. It's pretty solid. So like you're going to kill bosses fast. Even if they're hard, they'll be fast. That's nice. Its recovery is trash, which sucks, but it's fine. Should be fun campaign. Into white maps, 20, 20, 20, 25, 25, 25, 30, 30, 15. So the tank mod gets bigger and the haste decreases in reds. 30 less damage is like a little bigger than I wanted it to be. Like 30% more life wouldn't be as bad. 30 less damage is like, it's basically like a full support gem going, which is like, it's fine. I think last time it was 50% less damage, which was like fucking so brutal. Like you just did no damage. But 30% less is like fine. I definitely expect to chill for a little bit before doing red map progression in like T10s, just to try to get in the necrotic armor from shipping, which is something I kind of want to test as well. Like, how do I do that reliably? Like, how many crimson bars do I need to get a necrotic armor from the boat? But map mods, pretty chill. Is 10 easier than 11? I think 11 is easier than 10 by a tiny bit. But the thing is, when you're doing red map progression, they're corrupted rare maps. If you're sustaining yellow maps, you're running blue maps. So it's like, these can have fucked modifiers, these won't have modifiers at all, which is like the main difference. But the lower haste in red maps is gonna it's gonna make it like a pretty chill mapping experience. It'll just be like a little ZDPS in early red maps. I think right now my current character, 20 hours in, 30% less damage doesn't really matter. Like my guy's pretty strong, it's kind of whatever, but like the first like, 8 to 10 hours of red maps is gonna suck. T17 maps have no fragments, or have no mods at all, but they drop more fragments, so it's easier to spawn the Ubers. Atlas bosses, this is just normal pinnacles. So 2 stone, very reasonable. 3 and 4 stone, my expectation on Shadow is that 3 and 4 stone is not happening until you change to Ephemeral Edge CI. Like when you're still playing the shitty Power Siphon build, I don't think you're going to bother for 3 and 4 stone, because you don't need to rush 4 stone with this T17 modifier. Like you don't have to have it. You want it for better div cards, for better map tile sets, but like it's not mandatory, and Power Siphon sucks, so you probably won't rush 4 stones. This will affect the pirates. 40% increased damage doesn't matter at all on the pirates. They don't do any damage at all. So maybe this Cyrus is super dangerous. I just haven't done enough Valdos to know if like that's a mod. Like the Ziri was a Valdo mod. It is a Valdo mod, so I can go figure out what that is right now. I assume he's gonna spawn in and then like cast like the clone abilities from the sky, is my guess. Which, if that's the case, I'll have to test how much they do in Valdos, but at least in like Cyrus itself, it's very low damage numbers. 50% less damage, 100% increased damage, 40% haste, 3 proj, not 2 proj. I don't think that matters. 30 AoE, the normal little bit of extra AoE, and Cyrus apparitions. Obviously, GMP can be insane. It just depends on what the bosses do. For like the normal Uber boss abilities that exist, GMP is not that dangerous. I guess I should watch the rest of this real fast and see what bosses exist. Consume additional portal means you only have 3 portals instead of 6, which is not as, degenerate as like you only get 1 portal. Dude, I think Act 6, like Act 1 to 5 doesn't look that bad. Act 6 to 10, based on what Neon does to the campaign, like 100% AoE. I'm just trying to think like which bosses are really, really fucked.
Be a little bit more reasonable.
But also with the random new modifiers that we don't know what the fuck they do, we're going to be logging out a lot, just learning what the bosses do, hopefully surviving the logouts. So feared all release is still here. They're all release required. Wait, is the synth one still not here? Also, is Uber Cortex on? No Cortex, unless I'm blind. Yeah, still no Cortex. Fuck Cortex, that's good. But base Cortex is required for Feared Witness, which is fine. Alright, what do we got? I think this is the same as last time, right? For like what's required. All at once, yep. All of the invites have to be done with all at once rolled, which does add a little bit of alt requirements, because you're already going to want to use a ton of alts this league on recombinating. And this adds like an extra, I think it's about 1,000 alts, I think, required to roll this 5 times, I think. Like, these are all level 83, which means they have just red map modifiers, which are actually like really, really easy. There's no multi-proj, no like crazy haste, no GMP. Like, feared all release last gauntlet, because Ziz made red maps fucking ridiculous last gauntlet. Feared all release was like really, really, really hard. This time it'll be, I mean, we'll see what the bosses do, because bosses are going to be weird and do different things, which is going to be great. We'll see how that goes, but it should be fine. Just because it's level 83 and the actual numbers are kind of, like, because the numbers are what they are. If you have a trickster with, fucking 18,000 ES and like a bunch of other, defensive players that are good, you're just gonna stand still. You're gonna be chilling. So like last time red maps, this is what the Feared had last time. 50% less damage, 40% increase, 20 haste, 20 physics chaos, 30 AoE, and 4 proj. This is so fucking so toxic to map with these mods. Glad you skipped that one. Yeah, this one was fucked, man. And now instead we get to map with these mods. And then 15 haste instead of 20, 30 dam instead of 40, no physicals chaos, no GMP, no area. So mapping should be reasonable to the point where, like, once your character's strong, you can actually farm rare maps. Whereas last gauntlet, you're never putting in rare maps. When basically, like, every single map was already hard enough that it was about equivalent to like a random 8 mod. So like you're never putting in like rare maps on top of that. But with these mods, like once you're like CI, Ephemeral Edge with like 10k, 12k ES, like you can put in like rare maps and be fine, be chilling. So last time we had 40% less damage. Now it's 50. So bosses are a little tankier. Bosses do a little more damage. Bosses are a little faster. Bosses fire a little bit more projectiles. Bosses are the same size. Still 3 portals. Instead of it Ziri doing it Ziri things though, it's Cyrus doing Cyrus things. So I'm gonna log in and get a Valdos and test what this actually looks like and feels like in a second. And then also every single boss just does different abilities now. Here's what I'm ready for. All right, I'm ready to kill my fucking quest Exarch, and he just Elder Nova post-death explodes without Zana. He just says fuck you and just explodes. Thank you, viewers. Which brings me to the next thing we gotta talk about, guys. We gotta have a chat about ethics, okay? It's about ethics. The rule set of this event, with us not knowing what bosses do until someone walks in there and fights them, provides an incentive to not stream, to only record your things, and to not provide that entertainment or information to other racers. Doing this is shitty. It makes you a shitty person. It makes you a shitty competitor. Don't do that. If you have the ability to stream, and you don't, and you choose to private profile and do these things off stream and rob the viewers that literally crowdfund the event of the content, you're an asshole. Don't do that. I mean, yeah, the private profile thing doesn't really matter that much. That was just, something else to mention about, but like, there's no rule that forces you to stream. If you want, you can just record and upload, but like, don't do that. It's weird. As a requirement, well, the thing is, like, not everyone can stream. Like, some people are from places or just in scenarios where like they literally can't stream. They don't have the internet for it. And for those individuals, it sucks, but whatever, like, just record it and upload it afterwards, it's fine. But for like the majority of people, especially the majority of people that have placed in these events before, they can, and we will all judge you. If you're like, I'm gonna go in off stream. It's weird.